Today's video is going to be on how I prepare for my exam. So I have my first exam coming up in a week, and I'm going to go find it and the due date, and it is on the 22nd, right there. So I'm going to make an exam tracker now. On the top, I'm going to write down the name of my course and what number exam it is, so it is exam 1. And right underneath that, I'm going to put down the exam date. If this was an assignment tracker, that would have been the due date. The first thing we're going to put down are the chapters that are going to be covered. So for me, it's going to be chapter 1, 2, and 3. And over here, I'm going to put down R and R. R stands for read, N stands for notes, and the last R stands for review. I'm filling up the first R because I already read the chapters before the lectures. Here I'm putting down the extra review concepts. So concepts that need a little more help. And here I'm putting down my daily tracker. So I figured out there is only 8 days before my exam, or at least when I was making it. So there's 8 days right there. And then under each date, I would put down what I need to do. So I'm going to have little deadlines all throughout the week. The first one is take notes on the first chapter, and the second one would be review first chapter. So that's kind of how I break it down. So I take notes and then review each of them. And then the last 2 days are reviewing all of them and asking any last minute questions to my professors. So here, those are my notes and review. After reviewing, I'm gonna kind of go over the extra review concepts and fill out those little circles as I go and finish my tasks. So this is how I actually take notes. I like the loose papers with a little plastic strip on the sides. So I actually have 3 sets of notes for each chapter. The first note is while I read the chapters before my lectures. I try to do that. It's not always a reality. And then I have the notes from the lecture slides. So while my professor is lecturing, I'll jot down everything that I can or think is important. For the notes, I just write down the summary questions and answers and the key terms and the concept checks. So each chapter has a bunch of concept checks that I can use throughout to see if I need to know more about a certain topic. And in the end, I do the chapter quiz that's on the back.
갈수록 내 머리 나빠져 너의 존재가 커져 다른 걸 알 수가 없어 네 정체
So as a recap of what I do, these are my notes. I have all the summary questions in a Q&A format. And then I have the concept checks, so I'll go over them and write down all the answers to them, or the answers that I think are right. And then I'll go ahead and check them on the back, and I'll use a red ink to show the ones that I got wrong. And then I'd also write the right answers and why I got them wrong. And then over here are the chapter quizzes. I technically got one wrong, but those are the two ones that I guessed on and got right, so I'm gonna need to go over those topics too. I usually also have my page numbers on there because I don't use a binder. And here I have the notes that I take before my lecture. So I usually take notes of the key terms while I read, because I feel like those are the ones that I really need to pay attention to. And these are my lecture notes. They're kind of all over the place. They're not as pretty as my other ones, but they don't have to be as long as you understand them. And this is a sticky note of everything else that I need to know. I realized during my lecture that I needed to know all the names of, all the white men in psychology and everything that they did. But that is pretty much everything I do other than stress about my exams.